हैं, कुछ लोग डिबेट कर रहे हैं, कुछ लोग कोर्ट का टीच कर रहे हैं, कुछ लोग पपेट शो कर रहे हैं, कुछ लोग मोनोलॉग कर रहे हैं. So they all have taken a decision. कुछ लोग सर्कस कर रहे हैं और एक ने तो बहुत अच्छा किया, मॉडर्न शेक्सपियर.
Okay. I want everybody please to mute himself.
उसने बहुत hilarious बनाया है.
Or I'm going to mute everybody.
और उनको फ्रेमवर्क दे दिया है कि क्या-क्या होना चाहिए. And it is a 5-minute vote.
Now, if you don't like
Everything that they are supposed to do, they are doing. ये देखो, ये मेरा सेशन शुरू हो गया है. MYP Service in Action.
We need everybody to mute
मैंने
himself.
अपना iPad on कर दिया है. So I need to go. They are asking for me. आप अजय बात करें.
I'm trying to mute everybody.
You can mute everybody. You go to the participants and you mute all. Go to click your
Pyro में
participants.
इंग्लिश का लेवल बहुत अच्छा है श्रीकांत.
Okay.
Sharvit, I think you should mute it.
Down. In the
I'm
main
trying to do
taskbar,
that.
down. Yeah, please.
Okay. Ashika used to help me in these technical issues.
Did you do it? See, you go to the participants. It's written 38, no? Click on that. Then you have mute me and all that. You go to there and then you mute all. Because you are the host, you can mute everybody.
Wow, okay. I have superpowers now.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Mute,
all.
audio setting, right?
No, you go to participants. Click on the participants. Then down you see 3 things. Invite, mute all. Yeah.
Okay, I'm trying to find the participants actually. Yes, I found them.
Click on the participants.
Yay, mute all. Okay.
Yes.
Perfecto. Thank you very much. Okay. I'm good for now. Let's start. Okay. First of all, I'm Sharwat Aidel. I'm from Egypt. I'm the MYP coordinator in Nile International College, authorized MYP school, and PYP as well. Please, okay, I muted you, so thank you very much. Please write your name, the subject you're teaching, and the country you're coming from in the chat. Very fast, just type your name, the subject you're teaching, and the country you're coming from or you are at right now. Okay. I want you all please to give your full attention, be present throughout the meeting, okay? You remember things better when you write them by hand. So here is why you should be taking notes. I have my notebook. I'm ready for taking notes. The agenda. Okay, today's discussion will be about the 5 stages of service, types of service, IB service learning outcomes, planning for service as action, mapping service in the MYP curriculum, and I'll be sharing with you some authentic work from our school just to give you a taste of what is service, how does it look like, how can we implement it in our subjects and in the MYP program. Service Learning Handbook content, we're going to talk about the content of the Service Learning Handbook or the guide that we have, or the policy, okay? The science of service, student service ladder, and the role of service coordinator. Okay, first of all, the mission. The International Baccalaureate is more than its educational programs and certificates. At the heart of the IB, we are motivated by a mission to create a better world through education. So we all share the same mission, which is creating a better world. So of course, our IB learners strive to be caring members of the community. who demonstrate a personal commitment to service and act to make a positive difference to the lives of others and to the environment. So this is the mission. So the whole thing is all about implementing the mission, or the mission in action, okay? Service, okay. The progression, the service is action progression through the IB continuum. We know that in PYP, it's action initiated as a result of the learning process. In the MYP, service is action that leads towards a set of appropriate outcomes. In the DP, it's CAS with requirements to the outcomes of the DP core. And in the career-related program, the community and service that reflects experiential learning through the career-related studies. So the service as action is progressed in all the IB programs. Of course, in the program model, we have the action as service in the second ring. It's over there, okay, in the second ring, action and service. So it's very important, and it's there. It's a requirement. What is service as action? What is it? It's a responsible action. It's a sustained inquiry, and the word sustained inquiry is very important. It's not just an act that we go do and that's it. It needs to be sustained. It needs to be consistent. Also, it needs critical reflection. The reflection all the time. Before we do the activity, we reflect. During the planning, we reflect. And of course, after the activity itself. It connects the IB learner profile attributes to the community. So we actually see the learner profile live into the actions of the students. It also connects the classroom learning to the community. And of course, it is a transferable knowledge. When we teach inside the classroom and then we ask them to go implement this into the community, here, when it comes to transferable knowledge, okay? Of course, it brings a lot of 21st century skills, the ATL skills, because you just go, you research, you go to do a certain activity, you talk to people, you communicate, you collaborate, you think of things. So it brings up all the ADL skills and the 21st century skills. It's a cornerstone of being an IB student and a global citizen. The 5 stages of service. First, we start with the investigation. After that, we start to do the preparation. Between the investigation and the preparation, we reflect. And then from the preparation, we go to the action. After the action, again, we do the reflection, then the demonstration. So these are the 5 stages: investigation, preparation, action, reflection, demonstration. In other words, investigating is analyzing the issues and needs to be addressed through gathering information, okay? After that, we start preparation. It involves planning the service project with clarification of the roles and responsibilities, actions to be taken, the timeline, and everything. Then the 3rd stage is the action itself. It includes implementing the plan. Students here can work individually, in pairs, or in groups. The 4th stage is the reflection. It occurs throughout the process, pre, during, and post, okay? And last, it's the demonstration. It includes showing what and how you have learned, okay? It demonstrates what has been accomplished in this service. I really personally like the 3 whys global thinking routine in the investigation process, or in the investigation stage. Because in the 3 whys here, we start asking the students, why might this topic or question matter to me? Why might it matter to people around me? And why might it matter to the world? So here, it actually nurture the significance of the issue itself, keeping global and local and personal connections in mind. Okay? Types of service. We have 4 types of service learning. The direct service, it's when we interact with people or the environment or animals in the service directly. The indirect service, when the service provided without face-to-face contact or interaction with the people or organization or the organization that we are supporting. The third one is the advocacy, when we speak for a cause or raise awareness on a public issue or a concern in order to promote an action. And the fourth type of service is research, when we use information to report on topic to influence someone or something. So these are the 4 types. When we move on, I just want you to think this or each example. Is it a research? Is it an advocacy? Which type of service is it? Okay. What is our goal? Our goal is to empower IB students and teachers with their learning and teaching by mapping their service journey in the MYP program. So we just need to map the service journey into the MYP program and empower the students and teachers to do that. Planning for service is action. MYP schools are responsible for planning opportunities for students' involvement in service with the community. Okay? These opportunities should be aligned with the 7 learning outcomes of the service. So it's a responsibility of the school to plan opportunities for students' involvement. In the MYP, let's all think of the process itself. The process itself is crucial, more than the hours devoted to it. So let's think and focus on the qualities and motives of the service itself. And we always need to begin with the end in mind. So students in the final years of the program and MYP 5 should have responsible roles in planning, organizing, and implementing service activities to reflect their growing maturity. So how would they be able to implement and organize those services if we didn't or we haven't planted the seed from the very beginning? Okay, as we talked before or said before, service is sustained. It's for and with people. It's culturally sensitive. It's meaningful and authentic. It has to be meaningful and authentic. Okay, the service learning cycle, we have those 4 objectives or 4 criteria: investigating with the strands, designing and preparing with its strands, taking action, and then reflecting and communicating. So we have to print it out on a poster, put it in the classroom, and whenever we are doing the service, we stop and we let the students go and reflect. They can add a photo, they can add a sticky note with their thinking routine or something, a question they have, a student initiated action. Okay, so you always stop and reflect on each and every strand of those strands. You can also make the students write those or reflect on each strand in their journal while doing the service, okay, in their tracking journal. IB service learning outcomes. As we said before, there are 7 learning outcomes for the MYP service. This means that any of the activities we do, we must fulfill at least one of the requirements. Awareness. Become more aware of your strengths and areas of growth. We want our students to become more aware of their strengths and areas of growth. New skills. We want our students to undertake challenges that develop new skills. Initiative. We discuss, plan, and evaluate student-initiated actions. This is the third learning outcome. So they have to be aware, they have to develop new skills, they have to have this initiative attitude. The fourth outcome is commitment. They have to preserve in action. Collaboration, they need to work collaboratively with others. Global value, our students must develop international mindedness through global engagement, multilingualism, and intercultural understanding. The seventh learning outcome is the ethics. We always want them to consider the ethical implications of their actions. Okay, so I just give them this as a checklist. Through service learning, I learn too, and again, I make them always reflect on each learning outcome. Okay, so become more aware of my strength and areas of growth. Show me an evidence. How did you become more aware of your strengths and areas for growth? So he starts mapping his ATL skills. He starts talking about he used to be very shy, and now he went and talked to people. Okay, challenge myself to develop new skills, and so on. So the 7 learning outcomes, they have to show an evidence of them happening. The action can become part of the MYP unit planning process at several points, and this is very important. How can I put the service as action, the action of this service, in my unit planning? You can actually add specific learning engagements to meet the curriculum objectives through principled action. So this is number 1. You add specific learning engagements to do that. You will see the action happening through a principled action happening when you do that. You also provide students with ideas and opportunities, okay, through which they might choose to take or organize action themselves. You start asking them, you give them the ownership, the voice and choice, okay? You also use the global context that invites students to initiate their own inquiry into local expressions of global challenges. So these are the 3 ways you can embed the action into your planning. Mapping the service in the MYP curriculum. Here as an example, in the Individuals and Societies MYP 3, the students were learning about where are all the people. So the key concept is change, and the global context is globalization and sustainability. So we integrate the service in the curriculum overview. Okay, so here in this unit, the students will can start a campaign to help people who are in need of food or shelter. So service as action is embedded into the curriculum overview. Another example, drama. Okay, this is MYP2. That's where the fun began, and it's globalization, sustainability. The content they're going to learn about medieval theater, Greek and Roman theater, commedia dell'arte, all of these things. What is the service as action here? It's performing an awareness play about bullying and its effect on others, and how to stand for yourself and for others. So here, it's the services action is planned in the curriculum overview. In language and literature English, here they were going to, it's about orientation in space and time, the global context. They're reading Tanaika, White Bird, Arachne, a lot of things, Macbeth. Okay, what is the services action here? Students get to know more about their culture through gathering old stories and legends, by going on field trips and interviewing many people from different places, and they're going to present it in a magazine. Okay, so here, this is how to embed service into your learning, into your curriculum overview. Okay, as we said, the school has to guarantee the involvement of the students in service learning activities. to show the commitment and sustainability of these activities, okay, or these learning engagements. So as an example, in the student handbook, or me as a coordinator, I have planned this for the students. MYP1 will do this for like a term. Meal packing for poor families once a week. So it has to be sustained, okay? For MYP2, they need to go and visit elderly home, periodical visits. They go and they talk to them and they see what they need. They prepare healthy food for them, okay? So, and they go and they reflect, and okay? For MYP3, it was orphans tutoring, visits, and festivals. So it's for a whole term, they were doing this, okay? MYP3 community project. They went on in their investigation stage to see this house. Can you see they have a crack, they're very poor, and they started a student-initiated action. Their community project was all about, they're going to fundraise, so they're going to raise the funds through a marathon, so in order to renovate this house, okay? Charity work to school janitors. You need to find all the opportunities for your students. Okay, now it's, as an example, Ramadan, it's Thanksgiving, it's whatever. Okay, let's go buy things and give them to let's do the fundraising, garage sale, and we take the money and do that, okay? So you always create opportunities for your students to participate in their community. Cleanup campaigns, as example. Student council and MUN for MYP 4 and 5, okay? So student council, here those actually students, they made this basketball court. They kept on doing many fundraising activities, and their goal was doing this until they have actually collected all the money and made it in school. Okay, so as students become more aware and acquire a better understanding of the context and their responsibilities, they become empowered to make choices about how to take thoughtful and positive action. Of course, the action may be feeling empathy towards others, making small-scale changes, undertaking larger and more significant projects, acting on their own, acting collaboratively, taking physical action. Okay, as for the service learning handbook, or policy, or guide, or booklet, here I'm going just to show you a lot of suggestions and examples, and it's up to you to do whatever. So this is a suggested table of contents. It can, your guide or your handbook for service learning, it can have these items: the curriculum model, the IB learner profile, the 7 learning outcomes that we talked about before, approaches to learning, the school requirements for service as action, some ideas for service activities, service as action criteria, proposal form, checklist for writing the meaningful reflection, and reflection forms. I'm going to show you some examples. So some schools do this, they have credits for each service, and the student just collect the credits, okay? Like grade 6 has to have 6 credits, grade 7, 8 credits, grade 10, and so on. Others do it with hours, like grade 6 have to have 20 hours of service, and so on, okay? And for the credits, you can just add your requirements. Credits are not awarded for domestic or household chores. Any activity with a poor reflection is awarded only 1 credit. Any activity in which you are the only one who benefits, including performances, club participation, and these things, worth 1 credit. So you put your own requirements, okay? For the proposal form, they just write their names, the year level, their year level, the title of the activity, and they start answering those. What type of service will you be providing to the community? So here are the direct service, the indirect service, the advocacy, okay? specify a particular need of the community. So they're going to talk about the needs. Here they can investigate the Sustainable Development Goals as an example. How would you promote international mindedness through your involvement in the activity? And this table, for them to draw a timeline, an action plan, the date and the action, okay? And supervisor's name can be the service learning coordinator as an example. Who will you work together with people in your community to meet the needs of the community? So students must answer those questions. Also here, this is another, like it's a rubric. We talked about it's like a criteria. If he can actually, the student can self-assess himself or the service learning coordinator or the mentor or the teacher, okay? So here again, it's like a rubric or achievement level. A 1 is a minimal contributor, 2 is a somewhat active. You can include all of this in your handbook. The credits thingy is there. It's like the 5 is performed a long-term meaningful community activity, highly active contributor. You just put your own, it's like the task-specific clarification, okay? Some people just, they just put the learning expectation. You have the learning outcomes on the left-hand side, and then for MYP year 1, for MYP year 2, it's like a learning expectations continuum, okay? So it differs. Students keeping track of their service learning progress. This planner is very important. They start writing the name of their activity, the goals, who was their supervisor, and so on. Also the reflection form, they start reflecting. Here there are questions for reflection. And this is a checklist for the reflection, okay? Like awareness, I explained an activity that addressed the needs of the community in detail. I have thoroughly understood international mindedness, multilingualism, and so on. So here it's just quick, but you have to see the evidence in their work. Look at this. Here are the questions, and year 7 and 8 as an example, they have to, their reflection has to be from 100 to 150 words as an example. Year 9, from 150 to 200 words. So they have to answer those questions, reflecting on the approaches to learning, reflecting on the needs of the community, on the IB learner profile, on their collaboration skills, on the outcomes they have reached, okay? So overall, the action activities, the services action activities must meet at least one of the 7 learning outcomes, address a need within a community, involve interaction with people, involve reflection on the outcomes and personal learning or personal growth, have a level of commitment, which we said sustainability, have a responsible supervisor who understands the activity and keeping track of the students' learning and progress and achievements. Okay. What enabling conditions are needed to have positive local or global impact? This is the science of service. So thinking about having a positive impact, we have to think of those 6 things. So the science of service, it's all about investigating or identifying a community need within local or global needs, then linking this need to the subject, okay? After that, the care for a cause. Oh, we're running out of time, okay. 10 minutes, not very much. Then we make responsible choices, including decisions, not, so here it's the ethics. So it's all about this, the flower. A positive impact of service has to have the petals, all the petals: local, global need, skills and passion, ethical implications, compassion and empathy, subject knowledge. We're going to talk about them in details. I just want you to write or share your thoughts about how can a teacher's action and attitude inspire students to have a positive impact of service. Can you please share your thoughts in the chat? How can a teacher's action and attitude inspire students to have a positive impact of service? Okay, so we have she herself has to do things to model. Teachers should show empathy towards students. Okay, when a teacher stands on the side, disinterested, students do not have the encouragement to do anything. Okay, yes, teachers should act first. Exactly. So this is the action and the attitude of the teacher will inspire the students to have a positive impact of service, which will let the students to initiate doing an action. Okay, so here the context of service, it can be in the school, local, national, or international. Okay, so teachers' action and attitudes, we look to the teacher's action and attitudes through the approaches to teaching, while the student action and attitudes via approaches to learning. So for the teacher, it combines knowledge, skills, and empathy to inspire the principal's service for local or global needs. For the students, they combine knowledge, skills, and empathy to initiate the service. Teachers create authentic scenarios for service in the subject or beyond the subject to inspire the local or global action. The students self-initiates the service in or beyond subject to develop international mindedness. The subject knowledge. This is the second thing in having a positive impact. So, opportunities, all teachers are responsible to find ways to create authentic opportunities for service. As an example, our students were learning about I'm Malala in language and literature, and they have decided to raise funds to support a governmental school, a public school, and ask all students to donate their old books to make a library for this school. Okay. Another example, our students were having a STEM unit about disabilities. They have integrated the mathematical concepts to take the safe slope measurements, merging them with their design skills to build the ramp for the handicapped champion whom they were inviting to talk to. Okay. In Arabic, they were studying about accepting others' points of view, so they created posters to raise awareness about tolerance and hung them across the school. As part of their product design course, our students were learning about biodegradable bags, so they have contacted Cinnabon and met with the digital marketing team to implement their designs to their new straws and bags in their new campaign, Saving the Earth. All of these are examples of integrating subject knowledge into services action. If the students planted trees and flowers after learning about the climate change and the Amazon fires in the science course. In the individuals and societies, they were learning about human impact on the environment, and so they made a best out of waste event across the school. They even made this baby foot game. Okay. The third thing is empathy and compassion. Students must think, where do I stand on the empathy continuum? What principled action could I initiate to deepen my empathy? And sympathy is like for you, but empathy, I stand with you. I'm going to help you. So empathy and compassion. Speaking about empathy, we're moving to the ATL skills and passion. In the IB curriculum, the practice of empathy is an ATL skill listed under the social skills cluster and is placed in the subcategory of collaboration. So here, empathy, it's in the ATL skills in the IB curriculum. We actually encourage students to do that. Here you have the steps, step 1, step 2, step 3. And then, like example, explore principles of service, okay? So here, they have to link to the IB learner profile. What is the evidence? What is the ATL skill? The learner profile, and then the teacher writes the evaluation, okay? So this is very important, linking the service action to the learner profile and the ATL skills. Principled action. We have to focus on principled action when we prepare to integrate service into our subject teaching. Actually, the principled action is like a lens for critically evaluating service, pre, during, and post action. We can use those 5 ethics of principled action, linking them with the Sustainable Development Goals. Safety. For the safety here, do I maintain appropriate boundaries? So here it can go with the goal number 3, good health and well-being. The second ethic is dignity. Am I respectful to others? Here it's no poverty, 0 hunger, cleanliness of the water. Ecology. Do I protect the environment? So here we have the life on land, the life below water, the climate change. Number 4, equity. Do I have a strong sense of fairness and justice? Okay, so here it's reduced inequalities, quality education, and these things. Integrity. Do I examine the impact of my actions? Am I honest in my interactions? So here it's the goal number 17, okay, which has all of them. And you can just give them this checklist. Principled action. I learn about complex local global issues and needs. Yes, I do. Okay, show me the evidence. Link it with the ATL skills. I serve at school or in local global communities. Okay, show me pictures, show me photos, give me the evidence. So here, it's like a checklist for the principled action. I act ethically to make the world a better place. This is an IB mission. Okay. Now, how can you guide your students to make responsible choices in their service learning journey? Let's see. Students must be aware of where do they stand. Having this awareness will help them. So we're using this ladder for students. We start here at number 1, learn. I explore the context, principles, process, and outcomes. And then I link it to the connect it to the subject and service learning. After that care, I inquire and research. I act. So here the student has to know where is he on this ladder. It's very important. And of course, this is all part of the reflection, all part of the learning process. Reflection guidance. You can use these questions to prompts to help guide your reflections, like what skills or abilities did you use during this activity? What did you do well during this activity? What did you find difficult? And so on. Awards. Service tracker certificates. You can always encourage your students and empower them by giving them certificate of recognition and participation and so. The role of the service coordinator, he or she must empower students to make choices about how to take positive action, commit to the community service, show evidence of the learning outcomes, become aware of their own strengths and areas of growth, develop student-initiated activities. Also, they must develop international mindedness through global engagement, consider ethical implications, track students' activities and work with mentors. And of course, as part of the reflection process, organization of the end, interviews are required. They can interview. Okay, so role of the service coordinator. Okay, we're done with the role of the service coordinator. And we have talked about that it's a shared responsibility with all MYP teachers. As I showed you, it's in the subjects, it's in everybody's curriculum overview. Okay, so suggestions, you can explore this Harvard website. Okay, raising kids who care about others and the common good. So this is the link. You find resources, lots of things like material for teachers with lessons. Okay, you can, very helpful. Okay, Harvard resource. Also the service tracker app. The service tracker is a journal. It's like a logbook for guided reflection process. You can sign up for a demo. It's paid, but it's very cheap, and it can be very helpful for teachers, for students, for service coordinators, for MYP coordinators to track the service. And also it has a lot of resources for ATL skills and for the service skills and for the service, and awards and certificates and lots of things. Also, you need to provide your students, it's the third suggestion, so the Harvard one, the service tracker app, and now provide your students with a list of summer service as action possibilities, like give them a task like the cast. Okay, it's organize games and activities for children in hospitals. You can organize a wheelchair basketball team, beach cleanup, make healthcare bags to even to face the coronavirus, masks, gloves, soap, comb, help deliver meals and gifts to patients at a local hospital. Okay, so collect baby clothes and supplies to donate to new parents. And you can also have those suggestions into your service as action handbook or guides. You give the students examples. Okay, you can make them volunteer at a summer camp for children, prepare home cooked meal for homeless shelter, read books or letters to a person who's visually impaired, and so on. Even if they like to help animals and the environment, they can take care of cats and dogs at the animal shelter. They can plant trees. They can sponsor a recycling contest, even in the neighborhood itself. Build and set up a birdhouse. Okay, just give them ideas. Make the service learning, as we said, sustainable all the time. Oh, just a second. It stopped sharing. Just a second. Okay, so the impact of COVID-19 on service learning, and even the coronavirus mustn't stop our service learning plans or our community project plans or personal projects. Nowadays you can see lots of people doing the virtual projects and these things. So I want you all to share your thoughts with me. What can we do to continue helping our service group after the coronavirus? What types of activities or experiences are considered to be service learning in this time that we have? How can we stay connected to our service learning group? How can I stay connected to my service learning group? How can I? Can you please share your thoughts with me? Like now, during the coronavirus, what can we do to contribute or to continue helping our service group, to contribute to the community? For us, our community project, as I showed you, it was all about the house renovation. But after the coronavirus, everything has stopped, even after they raised the money for it by the marathon and these things. So we're actually, the students, they chose to move or to, they talked about it's a community need, and now our community needs food. So they're going to take all these money and prepare meals and things and give it to the poor people, because it's a need in the community. Okay, so some of your things, packing meals for poor people in the local areas. Yes, exactly. During this, we have a lot of poor people in India. Create a website and promote government food supply portals. So here, creating a website, it's an advocacy. What type of service? It's advocacy. Students can make masks. Yes, they can. Okay, so how can we stay connected to our service learning group in the Quantarine and these things? How can we? Like, as an example, of course, like what we're yes, virtually, exactly, virtually, create awareness through videos, through Google Meets. Okay, Preparing sanitizers, yes. Global context and videos. We have a unit on coronavirus. So they make a movie on the way soap works on virus, mask making, awareness on PRC testing or PCR testing. My students created a support group for their peers to deal with stress that they face. Wow, the social emotional learning, this is amazing. Buddy program for online learning, awareness posters. We make a song activity. Okay, perfect. So see, service learning would never stop. Kids make songs on hand wash and upload it on YouTube. So it's an advocacy. So again, we can stop the direct service. We can either donate money for as an indirect service, do the research, or advocacy, making fitness videos. Yes, yes, brilliant. Okay. So sorry. Okay. So you've got an assignment. Everybody here has got an assignment. Your assignment is free online PD on the IBO website for MYP Service as Action. You need to take a look at what service as action is and how it develops a student's personal sense of responsibility to their community. You can use this link, you watch a video, you read something and write it. So it's a nano PD, it's very useful, and it gives you, it's an eye-opener. It gives you an idea of what service as action in the MYP is, okay? I'm going to share those links with you. And this is your assignment. Please do it. It's really nice. It's easy. It won't take more than 15 minutes. It's a nano professional development and it's for free on the IBO website, okay? Now let's reflect. About service learning, I want you all please to use this thinking routine. I used to think about service learning, but now I think, So you used to think what about service learning, and now what has changed? What has changed in your thinking about service learning? Okay, I will share it on the WhatsApp group. Yes, students initiated. Okay. Actually, it's both. It has to be initiated by the school, or the involvement of the service has to be done. Like the school must create opportunities for students. Also, the students must do this initiated actions. So it's both ways. I used to think encouraging teachers to integrate service opportunities into the curriculum was very difficult. Okay. It is possible to have it virtually too, yes. Kindly share on email also, okay. How many service within subject initiatives need to be planned in an academic year? Again, you go back to the requirements in your handbook. You can have like one per term. If we, as we said, MYP1 are going to do the meal packing for a term, and MYP2 will be doing the orphans for a term. Then you can switch, or you can have it for a year. It has to be sustainable, okay? I used to think that it's not that important in the IB system and the curriculum is more important, but now I know both are important. Okay, I used to think it's difficult to document, but now I feel it can be done more meaningfully with certificates. Okay, so, and what was your aha moment day? The light bulb, when did your lamp lit? What was your aha moment for today? The service initiatives need to be planned by both. The school itself must have it in their handbook as a requirement. MYP1 should be doing this, MYP2 should be doing that. Okay, and beside the students must also do things. Who will keep track of this? The service coordinator. So it's both sides. The school from its side has to plan for the involvement of the service learning for students. Students also, when in your handbook, you give them a lot of examples, and then you track the progress. So you go and ask them, what did you do about that? Show me this month. Did you go to visit this? Did you do that? Did you do this? So it's both sides. We have in our school, we take them to field trips, especially for doing that, to fulfill this requirement. And also the students, sometimes we just put them on the track. We contact them with a certain NGO as an example, and after that we ask them to go to keep it going, to be sustainable. Okay, so certificates and reward points is a good idea to encourage student participation. Would you mind sharing the presentation with us for our reference? I'm going to share something else, the references, my references. When I saw the link for service tracker, overall, the session was and very informative. Could you please share the PowerPoint for further reference? Okay. So these are the reference, the IB Innovative and all of the others, and you'll find lots and lots of planners and the handbooks. Okay. It's very informative. Okay, now I want you, please, as an exit ticket, I'll put this link on the chat. Okay, I want you to fill the workshop evaluation survey, or it's a session evaluation survey. I'm going to put it. And please, okay, and thank you very much. So just let me add it so you all can give me your feedback, please. Okay, thank you so much. You're welcome. What's the difference between reflection? What's the difference between reflection and demonstration? Okay, thank you very much. Reflection and demonstration. I'll go back to answer this question. It's in the 5 stages of here. Okay, reflection is ongoing. Reflection is all the time. Whenever you do a stage, you stop and reflect. In the service learning cycle, okay, you always reflect on each and every strand. Okay, reflection occurs throughout the process. It includes description of what happened, expressing feelings, generating ideas, and asking questions. Demonstration includes showing what and how you learned, the impact. Okay, it demonstrating what has been accomplished, like you're presenting it. It's the outcome, the product, the final result. This is demonstrating. But reflection, it occurs throughout the process. You always reflect pre, during, and post. It's an ongoing process, okay, throughout the process. So okay, back to the chat. Kindly share the presentation. Silent thinking, reflection. Okay, thank you. You're welcome very much. You're welcome. Okay, thank you for attending. Please do the feedback. I'll be waiting for your feedback, and from the feedback, I'll get your emails so I can send you the links and stuff. Okay. Thank you very much. Quite informative. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Please just post your feedback here. Okay. And leave your email so I can take all the emails and send. The exit ticket is there. It's up. It's here. Share the link for the feedback. It's over there. Okay. And I'll be able to take your emails and send you all the links. Okay. Thank you. You were a wonderful host. Thank you very much. Okay. I'll be waiting for your feedback. Thank you very much. I'll just take a photo. Okay. Thanks.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.